tuning in to the third installment in our First Home Buyers series. Previously, we covered some of your most commonly asked questions, along with some handy tips to get you started with the home buying process. If you haven't already, you can check out our first two videos on the Squirrel YouTube channel here. Today, I'm going to tell you all about what to look for when you're buying, as well as discussing the different types of properties out there for you to choose from. Let's get started. When you're deciding where to live, there is a lot to consider. Some of it's rational, but lots of it will be emotional. If you're a couple buying together, you'll probably have differing priorities, so finding a middle ground can be a fantastic lesson in compromise. You'll need to consider what lifestyle you're after and how long you're planning to stay, whether you want to be close to friends or fun places to eat out, how far is too far when it comes to commuting, and if you have kids or are planning to have them, are the schools in the community to your liking? Whatever you decide, there are a few more things to take into account. Let's talk about location, land, and community. It's really true that it's better to buy the worst house on a good street. And it's not just because the value of your house will go up. You may not realize just how much impact your community can have on you. Horrible neighbors can make life tough. Consider the sun. It's amazing what difference a bit of sun can do for even the most rundown property. Make sure you double check the aspect of any house so you know where it gets the sun and what rooms will be the warmest. Lastly, do your research. Get your detective hat on so you know everything about the house before you buy. Talk to neighbors, run Google searches on the house, the street, the area, and check at night for street lighting and noise. Ask yourself, what is the neighborhood like? Is it quiet at night? Is there much crime in the area? What happens when it rains? This can be a big one when it comes to driveways and gardens if there's any drainage issues. Are neighbors aware of any future development activity? The list goes on. But hopefully that's a start to put you on the right track to keeping your eyes and ears peeled as you hunt for the perfect home. Let's consider the different types of properties you could buy. From the Kiwi quarter-acre dream to the inner city loft, properties come in all different shapes and sizes. Finding what's right for you is all part of the fun. Freehold. Freehold is where you own the whole lot, including the land. Long-term, the value of the property will be in the land. Next, there's leasehold. With leasehold, you own the building, but you don't own the land. Banks will generally only lend up to 65% on leasehold property. There are typically two types of leasehold. The first is church and Maori leaseholds. These tend to be lower risk and better quality because they've been around longer and are more consistently priced. Commercial leasehold, however, is riskier. Many of the inner city apartments that have been developed recently have used a low honeymoon lease cost that jumps up as much as 100% at the next ground rent review date. It might not sound ideal, but leasehold can be really useful in some cases. It allows people to live in areas and in quality buildings they otherwise could not afford. The most important thing is making sure that it's priced properly. Next, we have cross-lease. This was popular in the 70s and 80s as a cost-effective way of subdividing properties. Essentially, you own a share of the freehold title. The only thing to be aware of with cross-lease is that you may need sign-off from other owners before you can change the footprint of your house. So if you're planning to renovate the property you're buying, this could become an issue. Although uncommon, there could be other restrictions on the title too that need to be checked out by your lawyer. Lastly is strata or unit title. This form of ownership is common for apartments, townhouses, and units. It's used to ascribe ownership within a development. You will have ownership of your unit and an undivided share in the ownership of common areas. There will be body corporate fees associated with unit titles that will be used to pay for the upkeep of the common areas and services. Okay, so there's a lot to take in. Hopefully, though, this gave you a brief idea about what to look out for when searching for your new home, as well as the types of properties you could be encountering too. Fear not. This is not the end. Squirrel has put together a whole series of videos to help you through the process of buying your first home. They'll all be available on our YouTube channel, so subscribe to get notified as they go live. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Come a day when no one will be walking